Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's on DisneyPlus.com with an interview with Gavin Drea from the upcoming Disney Plus original series Wedding Season. So first off, could you give us a little bit of an introduction to what Wedding Season is all about?
Yeah, Wedding Season is a romantic comedy action thriller kind of genre-bending show, which follows Stefan, who's a hopeless romantic, and he falls to this mysterious girl who on her wedding day is accused of murdering her entire extended family. And the two of them go on the run to try and kind of prove her innocence.
Okay, and what kind of attracted you to the role of Stefan?
It's just kind of one of these perfect roles that come along where I just felt really connected to the role. He just kind of made sense to me as a character. It's kind of fairly inexplicable, but it's really fun because you get to sort of play everything as Stefan. You know, you do a bit of action, there's loads of comedy, there's little kind of moments of improvisation with the cast, and then these really heartfelt dramatic moments as well. So for an actor, it's kind of ticking all of the boxes. As I read it, it was just like getting to sort of flex all of your muscles as a performer.
And what was it like working with Rosa with this series?
Amazing. Yeah, she's so talented and she's so passionate, and we had a really good dynamic, I think, which hopefully comes across on screen. But yeah, it was just really fun. The whole production was it was just, you know, everybody, the whole crew was really lovely, and the writer and all the other actors and stuff. So we just had a blast. Yeah.
I was going to say, which of the locations did you like working at the most? Because obviously you worked in some lovely locations in Scotland. You had Manchester, and then got Las Vegas coming up as well. Where was your favourite place to film?
I mean, they kind of all were. We had a beautiful day filming on a lake in Scotland, which the weather actually, you know, turned out great in the end, which we were very lucky. That could have been a really horrible day of filming and turned out to be one of the best days of filming. So that was really nice. And that was right at the beginning. So I think it set a really nice tone for the production. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, shooting in Vegas, I mean, there's nothing more kind of cinematic than that, and even in LA as well. And but most of it was in Manchester, and I have to say it's a really beautiful city. You know, I hadn't been there much. So it was nice to kind of live there and just kind of get to know people there, and it had a really nice vibe as a city. So kind of everywhere. Yeah,
it's nice as well, especially with this being like the first like British Disney Plus original. You know, getting to see locations and stuff here is kind of great. And this one definitely felt like it had a little bit more of like a connection with the US as well, for the US audience.
yeah.
So I'm gonna say, what was the best thing about working on this series?
I think just working with everybody on it, it was a real collaborative effort, and the writers team were fantastic. And, you know, if you had ideas on the day, you could kind of do that as well. And the director, George and Laura, they were just brilliant, and they're all kind of dear friends now. And it was great. I think like all the action sequences were a lot of fun for me. It was the first time kind of doing stunts and things like that. So that was definitely a highlight. But also bringing the comedy. I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's hopefully a show that'll make you laugh, and that was very fun for me. Just trying to enjoy the day and make each other laugh, and, you know, catch each other off guard in scenes and make it feel very natural. So yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask about stunts. Did you get to do the wire one across from jumping from building to building?
I did, yeah, like 5 or 6 times, which was great. And then of course, apparently paparazzi showed up, and the stunt guy did it one time, and that was the photograph they took. So
yeah, I was looking at that one yesterday.
Yeah, and I was like, I swear, they didn't get a photograph of it, but it'll be in the show, I promise. But it was great, and Gordo did the stunt. He was the kind of head of stunts. He was brilliant, and you know, he felt in very safe hands. But they were great because you know, a lot of times nowadays, you know, with insurance and safety and stuff, they can be kind of overly cautious. But they were great. They let us try things and do things, and so it was really fun. Yeah.
And I got to ask as well, have you actually ever crashed a wedding?
Have I crashed a wedding? No, I don't think I've ever crashed. No, I've never crashed. I've never crashed a wedding. No.
No.
Yeah.
And obviously this one was filmed during the pandemic. How much of an impact did that have on what you had to do?
It was tough. You were terrified of not getting COVID during production, particularly when you're one of the lead actors and you have everyone working really hard on the show. The last thing you want to do is catch it and stuff. So as tempting it was being in Manchester to go watch a football match, I couldn't go to a 80,000 seater stadium. So But it was fine. I think you adjust and it was harder for the crew. You just had to feel for them because they had to wear masks all the time. And it's a challenge for sure. But I think, you know, working on a film set and television set it's always a challenge in a way. So we just kind of knuckle down and it's kind of something that everyone's unfortunately gotten a little bit used to now on set as well.
Yeah. And I was going to ask you, what's been like the difference working on wedding season to some of your previous projects like Cyberpunk or Assassin's Creed?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think the sort of comedy side of it, I've been doing a lot of drama and having some really funny moments. I was in Cyberpunk and stuff, which I really enjoy. But I think it's the sort of the comedy element of it. Yeah. Which I've always kind of gravitated towards, but for whatever reason, my career, I've been doing more kind of dramatic roles in theater and film. So to get to bring that side of it is a real pleasure.
That's cool. And are we likely to see a second season? Because unfortunately, I've only seen the first 3 episodes, so I don't know how this one ends yet. So I'm like, are they going to go with a second season?
Yeah, well, hopefully, yeah. Fingers crossed. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I'm saying nothing. Yeah.
And kind of moving on from there. Obviously, now with this one being a Disney Plus original, would you like to work on any other of Disney's franchises?
All of them. Yeah, sign me up. Yeah. So, no, it's really great, and their content's really great. I watched Prey the other day. I thought it was brilliant. Yeah, I think they're making really, really fun stuff, and really, I think what's great about this show is I feel like we're bringing a new sort of tone to some of the kind of Disney shows. Obviously, it's very kind of family oriented, the stuff that they have when they started. So this is sort of more for maybe for adults and, you know, people in their 30s and stuff. So a little bit edgier maybe, which is nice. So yeah, I mean, hey, fingers crossed.
Yeah, I must admit, like for me, like the bringing in some British comedy and some British stuff onto Disney Plus is great, and also obviously it will be on Hulu in the US. So, as my final question, what has been your favorite Disney Plus original so far? You mentioned Prey, but any other ones?
Yeah, I mentioned Prey. Obviously, you know, big sort of Star Wars nerd and fans. I've been watching Obi-Wan during the summer and things like that. That I enjoyed. So it probably have to be that, yeah. And then I've started the Under the Banner of Heaven, which is interesting. Yeah. And you know, I mean, true crime sort of dramas and stuff, you just kind of eat those up, don't you? So they're very watchable. And a few other documentaries, actually, I have to say. I really enjoyed the one about the Zodiac killer that came out recently on it, which was really good. I was kind of glued to that. So yeah, some great stuff.
Yeah, and obviously as well, I mean, this one's coming out on Disney Plus Day around the world. How does it feel kind of being all interconnected with all of that one?
Yeah, it's so exciting. And obviously we're the first of the UK productions that Disney are making to sort of get finished first and get released first, which is exciting and nerve-wracking and stuff. So, you know, hopefully we set a nice bar for everything else after that. But it's great. And, you know, I hope that audiences all over kind of enjoy the show, because I think it's you know, very kind of UK comedy, British comedy, but at the same time it's got a real international feel to it and a very universal feel. I think the story, the contemporary kind of romance in it feels, I think, quite universal. So yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens in the next episode. It really definitely got me in my hooked while I was watching it over the weekend. But again, thank you so much for taking the time out to speak to us. And wedding season will hit Disney Plus on Disney Plus Day and on Hulu in the US on September the 8th. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure you go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow, and subscribe. Also, a huge thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and also on our YouTube channel memberships. And I shall see you guys in another video. Laters.